Are you a lifelong fan of General Hospital?
Are you a new fan who wants to know more about the history of the show?
Do you enjoy talking about the show with others?
Do you find yourself yelling at the TV?
Is your self-care an hour a day in Port Charles?
If so, we invite you to join hosts
Amanda Kimmel
and Shannon Coach at the place where all the hidden conversations take place and secrets are revealed.
Meet us at Pier 54,
a General Hospital fan podcast.
Hello.
Hi. Welcome to the General Hospital recap for July 22nd through 26th, 2024. We got a few Port Charles pipelines, emails. First from our friend Nicole about Natalia. Hi, ladies. Hope all is well. Was Oliver ever found?
No.
Okay.
No, he was not, but thank you for asking.
I just had a thought on Natalia, and I agree with Shannon. How can Sonny not at least be mad at Natalia? He is putting all of his anger towards Ava. That to me doesn't make any sense. Ava should have known not to record it, but Natalia had already spoken to Sonny about her views, and she should have left them with that, so she should never have voiced them except to maybe her diary or journal, and she has a right to feel the way she wishes, but not to hurt people with her words or expressions. Agreed.
Yep.
You know, it would be one thing if Sonny were shocked by it.
Right.
But he already knew. So
like we said before, it just doesn't make any sense. They're not BFFs where you can come to the other person and say, I know this isn't like a good thought, but here's how I'm feeling. Help me talk it through. You're my friend, whatever.
Right.
They're strangers. And she's like, let me tell you all my deep, dark secrets about how I hate how my daughter is.
And there's one thing that is a non-negotiable for Sonny, and that is he protects his kids.
Yes.
Kind of at it back and forth with Michael, but Michael has also retaliated against him. So they have an interesting dynamic, which we'll talk about later. But you don't go after his kids. Even if Sonny and Michael were at odds and somebody else were to go after Michael, he still wouldn't let them.
Right.
And yes, Natalia was not, I can't say that she wasn't physically harmful because words do hurt. It's not just sticks and stones. Maybe this was just the righteous way of starting out a new storyline. Yeah. And then she goes on to ask about fan spotlights. I know we've talked about this before. We were intending on having fan spotlight summer, but the show has given us so much to really deep dive into. We will get back to fan spotlights. I promise. I am so sorry.
I just don't know where the summer went.
Neither do I. Like, how is August 1st this upcoming week?
I know.
Where'd July go? I feel like May and June kind of went slow enough.
Right.
And then I feel like it was just the 4th of July.
I agree.
And then she shares with us that she's decided to go back to school. And I love
it. Congratulations.
It doesn't say what she's going for, but Nicole, that's awesome. Congratulations. Yes, we will get back to fan spotlights someday. And then from Chandra, hi ladies. I got so emotional listening to your Port Charles 411 on Richard Simmons. By the way, and I forgot to grab it, we didn't check the scrapbook.
Oh, no, we didn't. That was dumb.
His storyline is probably actually in there.
Probably.
So, or the travel guide, which is written by Lucy. So, I guess maybe at some point there will be a part 2 to Richard Simmons because I don't have it in front of me and we're not looking at it right now because Amanda has prepared 37 pages of Bobby and Carly. So we are getting back to Bobby this week. It will be epic. If you were not around when Carly first came, and I feel like it's probably good timing too, because it also probably dips a little bit into Jason and how she and Jason, yes, because Jason was kind of involved in the Bobby thing. But anyway, she shares, I'm a tad bit older than you, and I was 9 years old when our dear Richard was on the show. I've been a big girl my entire life, and Richard showed compassion to those who were overweight. That's how his character was on the show too. Anti-body shaming is a big thing now, but in the 70s, it was no big deal to mock and make fun of overweight people, children included. Yeah, I was actually just watching something about the mamas and the papas, and I guess John Phillips didn't want Mama Cass in because he was worried about how it would look.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Richard was a hero to those like me. I remember being around 10 years old and checking out his book, Never Say Diet, out of the library. Finally, someone understood my life experiences. Thank you for honoring him.
Aww.
We're so excited to. I mean, we were not excited to why we had to, but it was nice. On a lighter note, the rap song he wrote was actually a tongue-in-cheek reference to a song that came out in 1981 pronounced General Hospital, which we know about. I don't think we've ever, I've known about it.
I don't have any idea what the lyrics to that are.
It was performed by a group called the Afternoon Delights. All the radio stations were playing it, but I don't think it was authorized by ABC. Here's a video a clever person made for the song years later. So let's see. Oh, by the way, we're back in person today, guys. That is the same beat.
It started out in North Charlestown. Frank's mom used to hang around. No one could prove that he was a crook. Till Luke stole his book like book. It had names and numbers all covered. So Luke and Laura had to hit the road. They had to find the left-handed boy. Watch them step. They had to be quick. The golden balls were so much. I just wanted it like Sally Hutch. There's one thing I must confess. Sally was a man for a dress.
Oh.
Luke kept his cool. He ain't no fool. He set them both up cold. Well, Sally died. Hutch survived. No one got to go. Patrick yelled to Willow during his advice. You can create a case of heartbreak. Don't call me crazy. No, I'm not crazy. My day on road. I can't sleep on. My hands are shaking. My legs are crazy. I just can't cope without my soul. General Hospital. General Hospital. General Hospital. You're my worst affliction. General Hospital. You're my favorite addiction. Her likes to have a fun. That is why she had some. She told Rick who was dead. Soon found out that he'd been had.
There's one thing that you can give me that Leslie can't, and that's passion.
Alan was the father of the boy, and he won't get Monica a divorce. Rick wants to get Leslie back. Heather's having an insane attack. I'll get Diane too. She's not crazy, no, never. She just wants to get Dr. Jeff Pepper. Jeff wants Annie for his wife, and he might have to wait all of his time. Stop. And he won't. Oh, no. Weenie Brownie likes to laugh. Richard Simmons has right laugh. Susan's having Alan baby. No one's bound for his lady. Watermelons on the ranch. Now, Laura's the receptionist. What's missing now is the ice cream.
Yes, Smith's a beat.
I told her this time Scorpio to awesome house again. On and on it goes. How it ends up, nobody knows. 'Cause they keep me waiting. I don't mind waiting. Don't call me crazy. No, I'm not lazy. My day won't go right. I can't be bothered. If I don't find out, it's not my father. I just can't cope without my soap. General Hospital. General Hospital. You're my worst affliction. General Hospital. You're my favorite addiction. General Hospital. Stage. Yes, sir. Come on. Did you see it today? Tell me what's going on. Yes, sir.
Wow.
So I had heard of the song before, but I don't think I've ever
Listen to
to
the
it.
entirety, yeah.
I am now demanding an annual
Yes.
recap.
Yes.
That would be fantastic if they had continued to do that year after year. Okay. I feel like we need to talk to them. I'm going to do some research. Obviously, we do not own the rights to that. Oh, here are the lyrics. We're not going to get all into that, but that was so obviously the song that Richard sang was a super, super, super abridged version. Is that where the phrase "I can't cope without my soap" came from? Have you heard that phrase before?
No.
Hold on. I've heard it before, and I just thought that it was probably like an ad for the daytime TV that, like, maybe ABC came up with.
Right.
I can't cope without my soap as a watch all my children, one life to live in General Hospital.
That was a good announcer voice.
Thank you. I was out with a friend on Friday night, and he's a little bit older than us. And he kept saying something about how he just remembers Diana's murder. And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. He's like, what happened in 1981? So I know you weren't born yet. I was like, no, I wasn't. But he's like, yeah. I was like, I really don't know what you're talking about. And I know a lot about storylines that happen from, he knows this entire storyline that we don't.
Huh.
Yep. There was a girl named Diana who was killed. Oh, hold it. Can't cope without my soap. Okay. It's just asking me.
Are you okay?
No, it's like, what's wrong with your soap? I just can't cope without my soap. Yeah, the first, I just can't cope without my soap original. It looks like it is.
Oh, that's awesome.
That is so cool. Oh, that's cool. All right. So thank you, Chandra. I definitely did not.
No, I did not know that they're. Once you start playing, it's like, okay, wait, I've heard bits of this before, but yeah, I've never heard the whole song, and I didn't realize it was an
that it existed.
Actual song.
Like, I think that I just knew that it existed. I didn't ever go listen to it either. And so she just ends with, thanks again for such a lovely tribute. Oh, yeah, we're going to deep dive that song at some point too. So as I mentioned, we are definitely getting back to Bobby this week. So we'll see where that takes us. I feel like August is probably just going to be mostly focusing on Carly and Bobby and Carly. We shall see. Then Hulu headlines. Do you have anything?
Nope.
No. Okay. On Monday, Laura seeks out Anna. Jason's plans go awry. Ava and Scott strategize. Sonny makes a request of Michael. Diane issues a warning. On Tuesday, Jason upsets Anna. John puts pressure on Ava. Ned supports Tracy. Carly meets with Sonny. Kristina and Michael discuss family matters. On Wednesday, Willow and Nina brainstorm. Kristina and Blaze meet the press. Anna faces off with John. Carly weighs her options. Jason reaches out to Danny. On Thursday, John makes a bold move. Anna pursues a hunch. Willow wrestles with her guilt. TJ and Molly make a big decision. And then on Friday, Jason receives a proposition. Nina drives a hard bargain. Diane seeks out Anna, and Sonny is enraged. Where would you like to start?
So this is kind of in the middle. I was excited that they had Perez Hilton on for real, because like
He's really cool.
said, was that going to happen or not? But I thought, I don't follow like the gossipy stuff that much, but I thought he was like a gotcha reporter.
I thought he was too, but I feel like maybe that's how he started and came about, and maybe he.
Okay.
Let's honest to goodness look it up though, because I thought the same, and then I was like, well, maybe he matured, because I feel like I've heard the name for a long time.
Right.
So there's a good chance like he was a dumb kid when he started.
That would make sense. But yeah, I watched the interview and I was like, oh no, he's going to say something. He's going to do something. And then it all went perfectly. And I was happy for them because they were very composed and all their answers were very nice. And they showed such grace to Blaze's mom and all of that. But I'm like, I just didn't think that's who this was.
He broke the news of Brangelina partied with Miley Cyrus and charged brands $9,000 a week to advertise on his blog. Wow. Good for you, dude. He's still arguably the world's best known showbiz reporter. I guess we're showing our age where I still think of like E.T.
Right.
And,
oh, man.
There's no denying his blogging business has suffered a decline in the recent years. His naughtiness peaked, Hilton claimed. At his naughties peak, Hilton claimed his website could attract the reason that I picked this article is because it said something about regretting.
Oh, okay.
At first, in early 2005, a TV show dubbed his website the most hated in Hollywood. He tried his hand in acting before he moved into journalism, and he was relieved of his duties at the Star magazine. So yeah, he worked for the Star magazine, which is a tabloid. A lot of it, I look back now and I cringe. Okay. So it sounds like he became infamous for outing gay celebrities. Why did they not address that?
Right. He should have absolutely said something about that.
He should have said, especially so basically he asked a lot of the questions before it, he told him that they were important and brave, and he was honored to be a part of it. And he shares that Blaze's career took a hit and asked if she can tell him about it. She says that the recording was about her mother discussing that she's gay. Perez pointed out that it was said disparagingly. Wow. Disparagingly.
Disparagingly?
Yep. And they agree. And Perez mentions that Kristina's been out for some time and is behind the LGBTQ plus nonprofit, and that they have distanced themselves upon hearing the news. So, but then at the end, Blaze she showed her mom an insane amount of grace and forgiveness in the public eye, because I think personally, but like also like in public, she said she was raised with a lot of different regulations around what she was supposed to think. She said something to that effect. He should have said, back when I started in my career, I frequently intentionally did what your mom, Blaze brought that up, Kristina brought that up, that Natalia's privacy had been broken.
Right.
Like what she said was absolutely wrong, but her privacy had been breached, her right to privacy as a citizen and not a public figure, which I still think they're allowed to have their own thing. But yeah, he definitely should have. They could have worked that in.
Yeah. I guess we were just supposed to know. And that's why he was chosen to do the interview. But I didn't know.
I didn't either. I mean, I feel like, I don't know. I guess that's a missed opportunity. My question from all of that is, they mentioned the board of directors for
which she chose.
Thank you.
Okay.
Terry, Diane, and other people that she chose.
Right. And I thought the whole investment came from Sonny.
Right.
So it's not like there's other investors that are like, no, we're going to pull our money if she's still part of this.
Unless there are. But are you telling me that she wouldn't be able to get Michael to fund something from Aurora?
Right.
Sonny wouldn't kick in a few extra $1 million to rename the gymnasium or whatever,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I had the same thought. I'm like, she picked her own board. Why are they? I could understand them maybe having, if they had these concerns.
Right. Like if there's a ad campaign going out, Kristina, we don't want you on the campaign photos because we're trying to show this is open to everyone and we're accepting. And it feels like maybe you were living this closeted life, even though she wasn't.
But also, and Kristina even said, Blaze hadn't come out yet. And that is something that I've talked a lot about with my aunt. And they have to do it when they're comfortable.
Right.
So to hold Kristina and
she wouldn't be
discriminating against her.
Even if they were just friends, that wouldn't be a good friend being like, oh no, you have to come out to the world even though you're not ready.
Right.
And she said we were out to our families.
Exactly.
In our personal lives, we hung out we weren't hiding our relationship.
Right.
We just weren't making it public either. And like she said, it's also a new relationship. It doesn't matter what your orientation is. Most people don't go splashing it everywhere until they see it's going to be something long term.
Right. I mean, with JD, I had nights where it was, okay, you can meet him now.
Right.
It was a big deal.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't understand the hate towards Kristina. I don't understand the hate towards either one of them, but I just don't understand, because that's also her supporting that person's needs, which is the purpose of her nonprofit.
They've brought up Ricky Martin before.
Yeah.
When he first was performing, it was not out there that he was gay.
Mm-mm.
And whenever it came out, he came out. I don't know how, if he did it or a story broke or how, I don't remember how it went. But I don't remember being like, oh my God, I'm not listening to his music now because he didn't tell me this about his personal life.
Right. Well, it was the same thing with Lance.
Yeah.
And actually, I think that I could be wrong, but I believe that he was outed He did not come
Oh,
out. He was
okay.
outed. And I think that was a magazine article.
I guess there are fans that are like that, and that's why they're bringing it into the story. But again, coming at it from just normal experience, I don't ever remember hearing about a performer coming out and me feeling like they had to call me up and let me know that ahead of time.
What they do in their own private time is none of my business. Lance was vacationing in Provincetown, Rhode Island, which is known as P-Town, just so you know.
Okay.
A random guy recognized him and asked if he was gay. He said yes, not knowing that the guy was a reporter. His phone started ringing off the hook, and so he knew that he had to say something. So he felt like he had to get ahead of it. So in a way, he was.
Right.
So, like, that's just not right. And I have a lot of respect for these people who, first of all, I don't know how they do it, but when they hide that they have kids.
Right.
Like, there are women who hide entire pregnancies and then one day just go, oh, I had a baby.
Yeah.
Okay. We still don't know for sure who Mindy Kaling's father of her children is. I mean, all of us think that it's BJ Novak, but who knows? And me, it's really, really not. It's just the idea. I mean, they are such good friends, but yeah, secretly hope that. But exactly, like that's none of our business. But no, I did. I thought that the interview went really well, and then Perez ends by asking, referring to Kristina's pregnancy.
Yes, they said something about bump in the road, and he was like, "Speaking of bump,
yeah," and she said, this is a part of our life that we want to keep private for now. In no place, nowhere, nope, did she say any insinuation that the baby was hers, nope, that she was keeping the baby, that they were raising the baby, that they have plans for their future with a baby, parenting a baby.
Right.
Yet TJ finds it necessary to run to the courtroom and show Molly for herself. I actually thought he was going to be proud of her for protecting their privacy. Granted, maybe Kristina should have talked to Molly about hey, by the way, I'm doing this interview. Molly did have a point. She said, you didn't even tell me you were doing this.
Right.
Maybe Kristina should have said, so obviously.
People might notice.
Yeah. Although, to Perez, if you don't know for sure, you don't comment on it.
Right.
Yes, she is a very petite girl, so a very petite woman. So it's definitely obvious that, but still, unless you know for a fact out of her mouth that she is with child, right, don't say anything. But yeah, so then Molly and TJ get crazy mad.
Go and file the termination of rights that she keeps calling relinquishment of rights, and Kristina calls her out and is like, no,
termination.
Those words mean something different.
Terminated, but she kept in the contract.
In the conversation, she said relinquish.
Yes.
In the paper, it says terminated. And Kristina was like,
knows how to read, Molly.
Yeah, those words mean two different things. And I planned this after the baby was born. Why are you pushing me to do this now? And she's like, well, it seems like you just have more time now. So just go ahead and sign those papers. And she seriously expected her to sign them that second, not even read them or have her attorney read them.
Right. I just couldn't. I was so thankful then when Kristina said, the point of our interview was not my pregnancy.
Right.
Was not your baby. I thought I was protecting you. Again, this is maybe something but she probably just didn't think it was that big of a deal.
Right.
And she had a fair point. And then when she said, you guys have been fighting so much lately, and Kristina was honest with her and said, I don't want to do it because what if you and TJ break up? Then you have no right to the baby.
Right.
So she's said, I'm doing this for you.
Right.
Not that she and Blaze are planning on keeping the baby.
Right. Exactly.
And she was honest that, this has made us think, oh, would we ever want to? But she even said but this isn't something that we want to do right now.
Right. We were well aware this is your baby. Yeah.
But exactly. And Molly lost it and yelled at her to sign the papers, and she didn't, and she refused to. And then Molly decided to leave when there was a knock at the door. Oh, we forgot to mention that Natalia watched the entire interview from her hotel room.
Yes. Yeah. But Molly went beyond going off. She told her that she could not be a mother.
Oh, I wrote it all down. Hold on. What did she say? Molly says that they have only been fighting about Kristina. And she says that she has never had anyone stick around long enough to form a real relationship with She has a string of embarrassingly misguided attempts with men, a crush that drove a teacher out of town, an infatuation with a woman who is so ashamed of being gay that she was still in the closet until her mother decided to cause a national uproar by publicly outing her. Molly said that the only way that she would think any differently is if she signed the papers.
Right.
That has nothing to do with the papers. So I give Kristina so much praise for restraining from punching her in the face. Because hormones, one, but also, or slapping. Let's go with slap, maybe.
Right.
But Kristina even said, if you want to have your own interview, I'll just call Kelly Ripa and let her know so that way you can get the praise and glory and like whatever it is that you are looking for, because this is not what that was about.
Right. Our interview was not about your struggle with fertility. No, Kristina handled it beautifully, because she could have come back at her being nasty, like, well, it's not my fault that your body can't carry a baby and you needed it to do this, blah, blah, blah. Like,
oh, she could have.
Yeah, she could have done way more damage to that relationship. And instead, she was just like, nope, I'm not signing. I can't believe you're even asking me this and not listening to what I'm saying.
Yeah. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, sister fights get mean. And
yes,
Molly was being so mean.
And there are unreasonable ones, and then there are ones that remember things like
that you're sisters,
that you're human.
Yeah,
that some things cannot be undone.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Natalia shows up and is asking about where Allison is. And she's like, she's not here. And Molly's like, well, I'm leaving anyway. Bye, see ya. And Kristina says, I think you forgot something. And she just continues walking out the door.
Yep. But Natalia went and thanked Kristina. And the one thing that Kristina did say during the interview also was she has told Natalia privately how she felt.
Right.
And that she was not okay with it.
Yes.
But then Kristina shared with Natalia about how, you have a right to your opinion. And although it's obviously disappointing and hurtful, it's hurtful, but not harmful, if that makes sense. But I mean, I feel like it is harmful because it's devastating your daughter, which is impacting she lost her record it's absolutely harmful. And that's where I didn't understand when Kristina said what she can't stand for is discrimination. And absolutely right. Like, I absolutely agree with that. If it affects housing, employment, all that. Well, it did just affect employment. It got her daughter fired.
Right.
So that's not okay.
And Kristina herself.
Yes.
Back. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. But Natalia let her know that she does appreciate her commitment to her stance and that she isn't one-sided when it comes to allowing to have an opinion.
Right.
So I feel like they're going to be able to move forward. But yeah, Kristina kind of forgot it did, in fact, impact employment. But I got at the core what she was saying.
Right.
So maybe she was saying that she knows that that specific conversation was not being had with the intent. It was her venting to somebody about a personal matter. I'll give her that.
There you go.
Okay. Done. Where to now?
You tell me. I picked that.
You picked Perez, and then I took us to TJ Mom. Let's just go to Willow while we're talking about interviews.
Okay.
She goes straight to Nina for help with her PSA.
Because she has been a teacher and a nurse.
To be fair, what kind of teacher was she, though?
Yes, but you still take writing classes that teach you all of that. Because you're not just writing to the children, you're writing to the parents and the school board. And
okay, that's true. I didn't mean to demean her, but I mean, it's
right. No, I totally
math heavy teacher. Maybe she really
doesn't. I absolutely knew what you meant of she's not using as sophisticated of language when she's talking to her third graders as a college professor does speaking to his college age students. But I just mean, as far as writing something and coming up with like the thought process, they take crazy classes because they have to talk to, everyone. And so I just felt like it was stupid.
I felt like it was stupid because Sasha is now living at the Quartermains. Why are we not seeing Willow and Sasha rebuilding their friendship? And Sasha has been in the public before. Sasha has done news bits. I give Nina credit. Yes, she's absolutely not a bad resource. But why are we not seeing Willow and Sasha?
I just feel like Nina's not a bad resource, except for the fact that Nina was given these positions or bought into these positions. Like, we don't hear that Nina has this extensive background in PR or whatever.
I thought she was raised in it. Because I thought that her dad,
I guess
wasn't he like a publisher?
He did have something, because that's how she knew the congressman.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just, like we said before, I feel like the relationship between Willow and Nina is just jumping too fast. They went from Willow hates you and can't stand to be anywhere close to you and doesn't even like whenever you show up at the pool at the same time that you're there, to now we're going to run to you about intimate advice like I kissed my husband's uncle and other important things like, hey, I'm writing this PR notice. I need you to proofread it.
Right.
It just feels...
Well, she didn't even read it. It was given to her. And she was not comfortable with it. And so she rewrote it.
Oh, okay.
And that's right. Because I thought Nina said something about, and you don't like the copy they gave you. And she was like, no, what they gave me before was great. And then they just fix it to be in my voice. Her dad was rich from real estate.
Oh, why didn't you remember that?
I don't know. I thought that there was some kind of publishing. Maybe he's just like an investor in a bunch of different businesses.
Maybe. I don't know.
But anyway.
But like you said, the first choice, if Sasha wasn't available, if Sasha had errands to run and was like, I'm so sorry, I can't help you right now, and she needed help this minute, and then she ran into Nina at the MetroCourt and was like,
right,
hey, I'm going upstairs to record. Can you just like read over this real quick to make sure that it's good? That would have made sense.
And they
but
both
this was
pointed
like
out the same sentence that needed fixed.
Right.
Or where it would go.
Yeah. That's exactly where I would put it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that totally makes you my mother. No, it
Right.
makes you able to write a sentence.
And then Ava comes down and thinks that Willow and Nina would both support her against Sonny for custody of Avery. I do kind of understand where she's coming from because she brings up his behavior, not anything else, right? She brought up his recent behavior.
Maybe to Nina, because Nina and him are not together and Nina has said like he's acting kind of crazy, but there's no way that Willow's going to go against Michael's dad.
But the last thing that Ava knows is that Michael and Sonny were at odds.
It doesn't matter. Willow's not going to make that worse.
She even said, she's like, I'm not going to get in the middle of this. And I don't think that Michael's going to do it. And she and Michael have not discussed this still to this day.
No, but like, if my husband wants to create more conflict, then he can do that. But I'm not doing that.
Yep.
On his behalf or on your behalf, just because you're upset. Nope.
And then she pleads to Nina, please don't let me lose another daughter. Like kind of driving the sword in, you know, how you lost Nell.
Right.
Don't let that happen to me. And then she starts to, Ava's like being a super manipulator right now.
She is.
We've already talked about this. This whole thing kind of came out of nowhere, but whatever. But then she starts telling Nina about Natalia and about how wonderfully she and Sonny are getting along and that they're having private dinners where he's cooking for her at Pizzulo's and everything.
Yep. And Nina's just like, well, I'm still not getting involved. You're the one that leaked the information about Natalia. So have a good day, Ava. I'm doing better without you.
Yep.
Sorry that you're not doing better without me.
And I guess we could just go on to Michael. When he went, Sonny asked Michael to come over and Diane was there and they kind of started to ask him, would you consider, Sonny was like, listen, I know we got our stuff going on right now, but you know, you had a great childhood. And I'm sitting there. I started to write
shot in the
head. And you shot Dante. Which part of this is a great childhood?
Right.
And Michael even says, I don't think I'm going to be the right one to be called to.
And he didn't even say no. He was asking. Yeah, I will totally go up there and say you're a good dad. But when they say, well, you're great being shot in the head, what am I supposed to say back to that?
Right.
And then
it's going to take Dante 2 seconds to be like, okay, lift up your shirt. How do you feel about the fact that he shot you?
Right.
Yeah. That Sonny himself shot you.
Yep.
Not even
his bodyguard or whoever.
No. Yep. So then Sonny basically kicks him out. And Michael said something about, what did he say? When he was leaving, he was on his way out and then he came back and he said something about like, this isn't the man that I knew, or this isn't the father that I knew.
He asked him about if he was taking his meds.
He did.
And Sonny was like, do you want to check like your mother did?
Okay. Sonny himself had the thought of a blood test months ago.
Right.
why has he not since had the Jason's questioning my medication, or everybody but Ava is questioning my medication. Maybe I should go get some blood work then.
Right. And you know that Ava was living with you and that Ava messed up Morgan's.
Oh, Diane brought that up too, because he said Sonny tried to say, well, Ava has also been damaging. And she's like, but that was a romantic entanglement, not targeting your child. Like, to be fair, she thought she was killing you.
Right. And,
or no.
The point is, no,
she was messing with Morgan's medicine intentionally, but that was as a scorned lover, not as and revenge against Sonny, which is still disgusting to have to distinguish between the two, but that is those facts.
And the court looks at your most recent behavior, then going backwards. So you can't say, oh, this guy's such a jerk, blah, 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 blah. Forget the fact that I hooked up with him last week. Or, hey, this guy's a jerk, or this woman's a jerk, but don't think about the fact that she literally just moved out of my house. Like, come on.
I'm surprised. So Diane did say, Michael was just trying to help you. Like, he was bringing up great points. What the heck, dude?
Yep.
Why is she not mandating that he get some blood work done?
Why wouldn't they do it just for the trial?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, say, listen, Sonny, the best defense that we can have is showing your medication is working,
right?
Or it's not. And this is explaining your erratic behavior. We get it corrected because the body can change how it processes medication.
Right. Even if he was on the right dose, his body could suddenly start not accepting it the way that it used to.
So, that
we should be lawyers.
All be solved by a blood test.
Right.
JD tells me that frequently. He can't decide which side I would be on because it would really depend.
Right. Oh, man. I just think this whole week was like really stupid conversations that I just wanted to interrupt every day and be like, can you stop? Because what you're saying makes no sense.
I guess we could go to the flip side with Scott and Ava.
Sure.
And he's like, do you know anything that won't get you killed that we can use against Sonny?
She's like, no.
Yeah.
And then she fires him. And then she rewires him within like 5 seconds.
But then she gets the brilliant idea that they should call Carly as a witness because of all the different things that Carly has done to protect her own children from their father, such as sending Morgan to military school.
Nope. Still not going to work. Carly will find a way to twist it. She's never going to testify against Sonny, even though she does tell him this week. Like, she's done. She's done protecting him.
I'm sorry. I thought of us right away as soon as she was like, how am I still fixing your problems?
Yep.
How is this still my responsibility somehow?
Yep.
Women are not just the default. Oh, but before that, Carly, before she went to see Sonny, because she came to see Sonny to let him know, hey, Kate's is gunning for you, because she went to Anna talking about how Jason told her that she's going. They had the same conversation again.
Yep.
I'm sorry. I'm over Carly and Jason talking about,
you can't leave me, but I have to leave. But I can't live without you, but I have to leave.
You've done it before.
But I'll turn myself in. No, you're not allowed to do that because everything I did would be a waste then. But I can't lose you again. But you can't turn yourself in.
And you've already done it how many times? Because John tells him that he did not get him the correct information that he was looking for. He is now going to be transferred to Quantico, and then he's going to wind up going to Lumpco to be undercover for a drug ring.
Right.
Ugh.
And Jason goes to Anna and is like, hey, you kind of threw me under the bus here because you let Valentin run. And she's like, I won't let John do this. I'll call someone.
And John continues to say, he did so much damage to my ex-wife and my brother. We have talked about it now a million times, but I feel like every time they bring it up, we should reiterate.
Right.
First of all, Karen was herself able to move past that, but also Karen and Sonny were able to move past that.
Yep.
It's not like Karen held that grudge, and it's not like Karen wasn't able to become a doctor because of what Sonny did. It's not all those things.
Right.
And Sonny took care of Stone and has supported AIDS research and all these things.
Right. And
in Stone's name.
Stone got AIDS because
Right.
of living on the street
prior to meeting Sonny.
and to having intimate relations with someone who is doing drugs. This was not someone Sonny introduced him
Correct.
to. This was not one of Sonny's employees that he had hanging around.
Right.
It all happened. Sonny saved him from the streets, hoping that he wouldn't have caught anything and that he could learn some skills and grow up and have a good life. And then once he realized he had already been infected, he provided him with all the medical care and anything else that he needed
He did everything
just
to save his
because
life.
he cared about him.
Yep.
Yeah. There was no motive.
Not
He
like
got
the
nothing
bouncer at
from
the
it.
strip club who kidnapped Karen and put her on the stage.
Right.
That's not how it went down.
No.
So,
And again, if Karen would have struggled her entire life because of this, and that would have caused the issues between her and Jagger, and that's why they got divorced, blah, blah, blah,
right.
and she was the love of his life, then maybe we can hold on to that grudge. But like you said, she moved on. She found peace with Sonny. They even became friends to an extent. And
They were able to coexist.
Jagger then turned around and treated her like crap. So
Well, that was on Port Charles. We don't know
it
exactly.
doesn't matter.
happened.
It doesn't matter. If there was cheating, but the word cheating was in there.
Absolutely. I understand, but we also just don't know what happened.
I don't know exactly what happened, but once you cheat on your wife, you don't get to talk about her like, oh my God, I have to protect her whenever you were one of the people that screwed her over. Okay. So I just don't get it.
Unless the two of them had been able to move past that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But they did not.
But the thing is, Sonny has legitimately destroyed so many lives.
Yep.
Why did we not bring somebody like that? Not trying to bring this up again, but kind of am because it just popped in my head. This would have been a great opportunity to make Dex Faith's son.
Mhm.
Because he blew Faith up.
Yep.
No, killed Faith. Gun.
Killed. Done. Yeah.
Cassandra was blown up.
Yeah.
Because Cassandra went boom.
You just love to make people go boom.
Oh, that was at the beginning of our podcast. I feel like that was one of the first times that we actually named the episode.
Probably because that was too good.
Oh, look at us, youngins. But yeah, it's still not making sense with Jagger.
And then Jagger, 'cause I'm just going to go into it because I'm so angry. Jagger goes to see Ava and is like trying to manipulate Ava to give him information on Sonny because his main objective is taking down Sonny. And when she can't give him anything, but he thinks that she's withholding things, then he is the scumbag that's like, oh, you're such a beautiful, kind woman, blah, blah, blah. You deserve so much better. And then they end up kissing. And I almost threw up and like yelled at the TV, ugh, because no, you're worse than Sonny, manipulating her feelings, trying to get what you want.
Well, he even said, he's like, I did some more digging into you, and it turns out you and Sonny actually have very similar pasts,
Right.
but you've turned a corner.
Yes. And no one deserves to have their child taken away. Like,
Hey,
humans,
last time the strip club was open, because we keep talking about it,
right.
it's
right.
not like Sonny is still running it.
And he hasn't even seen Ava with Avery to know that she's a good mother.
Right. Oh, that was the other thing that Ava said, because Carly won't let Donna spend the night with Sonny. That was the other. But
Yes.
right, Jagger is never, well, but then she plays that to him saying, oh, I'm not used to being without my daughter. I'm sure you know what it's like not being with your son.
Yeah.
Two completely different things.
Yep.
Because it sounds like Stone, Jagger's son, Stone,
Isn't
has
it?
been able
And
to
he's an
make-
adult.
well, but also he's been able privately, like we know that I'm, at least for the foreseen future, like my daughter is going to be living at home. I am going to be 24/7 caretaker. Like that is my life and that's fine. But Stone does not have the same needs, but they were able to find him a home that he is comfortable in, that he is able to live more independently. And Jagger seems proud of him. He doesn't seem like it's a travesty that his son
Mm-mm.
isn't able to stay at home. It's no, my son was able to become so independent and we were able to find the right solution for his needs and to allow him to have the independence that he
And it was
wants.
a choice because all kids need stability and dependability. If Jagger is working for the FBI and he's in this city for this amount of time and this city for this amount of time, no matter what age your kid is, You're not dragging them all around with you for small. You're going to talk about like military. I don't mean like
No. I'm now just interested in how did Jagger grow his career to the point where he's an FBI when he was a single father to a child with special needs? Because my impression when he first shared about his son was that the independent living situation was something that he was able to grow into, not that it has been.
Right.
So then he would have had him be bopping all over the place.
Yeah. See, I don't picture it like that's how it was. So Jagger made the decision that was best for his child and was like, I have this facility that he's happy at. You know, they haven't given us exact details on how it all works, but like you're saying, this facility that he's staying at, that he feels comfortable at, and he's learning new skills, and he's becoming as independent as he is capable of becoming. And so Jagger's off doing his work stuff because his son is somewhere stable and happy. And Ava's trying to plead, oh, I just don't get to see my daughter. We're not the same.
No. But then he gets a phone call, and was that Anna? Anna called his boss.
Yeah.
Because that's when Jason had gone to Anna and was like, you need to fix this.
Yes.
And Anna's pleading,
Right. Tell Kate's to step down because he is too personally involved in this, and he's not following through with the promise that he made to one of your informants.
Oh, when Laura went to see Anna at the beginning of the week, and you could just see the look on Anna's face when she was like, I did not consider now Charlotte's gone to you.
Yep.
And the hurt that oversight clearly caused her. And she was very careful with her words.
She was, but I did feel sad for Laura. She's like, all of my children have left. I'm trying to stay connected to my grandchildren.
Both Charlotte and Valentin's phones are disconnected and social media wiped.
Mm-hmm.
So, but then Laura's wondering, why the heck would the FBI be looking into Valentin? Like, what's happening?
Right. And Anna's like, I don't know.
She kind of doesn't, though. I mean, she does, but she doesn't, because it's under the guise of Pikeman, and that's what she calls Kate's out on. She's like, you got enough information to be actually able to shut Pikeman down.
Yes.
This has nothing to do with Sonny. That is a personal grudge that you are using your office for, and you know that that's not right.
Right. And then Anna goes to see Brennan to take his take on everything, and they're like, who?
Mm-hmm.
We have no evidence of that person.
Even his paper file is wiped.
Yeah.
And the PCPD. And then they're like, oh, maybe we should go check the hospital records.
Yep. There's nothing. He just disappeared.
But then in the lobby of the MetroCourt, was that after? That was after Carly went to see Anna and told her, listen, this is what John is about to do.
Right.
Because then, is that when Anna called Jason then and got? Because Carly is the one who broke it to Anna that Kate is continuing after Jason.
Right.
Maybe Anna and Jason didn't talk this week. Maybe we're confusing it with last week.
Maybe.
I mean, that's fair, but
right.
Where was I going with that? Oh,
the
lobby of the MetroCourt. Carly goes to the front desk and says, get two of the bellhops, send them up to Mr. Kate's room. He is checking out.
Pack all his stuff. He had that one little suitcase.
I know. They said two bellhops. Why do we need two? He had a carry-on.
Right.
Guys can do that, though.
Mm-hmm. But you would think with his suits that he would need something a little bit.
What they have to do is switch out different colors.
Yeah, that's true.
He didn't have a garment bag, though. They forgot to check the closet. Yeah. But
yeah, I loved her kicking him out. That was great.
And then that was when she was talking to somebody after that then Kate's came.
She was talking to Jocelyn whenever Kate's came in trying to check out, and was telling Jocelyn about Jason. She didn't want to talk there, and Jocelyn was like, yes, I need to know what's going on now. And so she started telling Jocelyn about Jason having to go away again.
Yes.
And that's whenever Kate came down and was like, my card won't work. And the desk attendant was like, oh, here, I'll get you a new card. And Carly was like, no, actually you won't. Your stuff's over there and you're out, you're done. And he got all kind of cocky, like, I'm in charge. You're going to give me back my hotel room. And she was like, no, I don't have to listen to you.
Well, he had just been bragging to Ava about having a witness that's going to get, and that's Carly.
Right.
That he has a witness that's going to give them everything that they need to put Sonny behind bars forever and ever, blah, 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 blah. And then Carly lets him know, I know everything.
Mm-hmm.
And in the middle of the lobby,
Well, he got so snippy. He's like, you need to call Jason and then you'll give me my room back. And she was like, the heck I will. I know everything and I'm not giving you your room back. Jason doesn't speak for me. And if you think you have so much evidence, go ahead and take me in.
And Sonny and Diane had been outside discussing, I guess Ava counterfiled and under the law, she still has this patient and everything. And Diane's telling him, and they see Carly. And I think Diane asks Sonny, do you want me to go over? And he's like, she can handle herself, but like, let's go inside.
Yes.
Just to be here. And John goes to arrest Carly and Anna flies in and is like, that you can't be doing this.
Right.
But I mean, Carly kind of yelled at the top of her lungs.
I said I was the top of the mob.
Yep.
And Diane's like, okay, I'll meet you down at the station. And then Carly's like, Joss, go get Jason and tell him not to leave because I kind of sort of did confess, even though I didn't mean to.
Right.
Oh, but Danny had found.
Oh, we missed when they were at Bobby's. That was when Carly came over and was talking to Danny and Jason.
Yes.
They were supposed to go on the boat to Toronto Island.
Yep. And then Jagger came in and took him upstairs. And that's whenever he announced you're going to have to go.
Yep. Yeah.
So yeah, then Jason calls Danny and is like, hey, we're not going to go on the boat. I don't know when we ever will. I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. And Danny hears the train or the bus announcement in the background. So he shows up at the bus station. That was cute.
I teared up. I know that I said this before. It was a bummer when we had Jason under the pile of rocks.
Yeah.
But this is worth it.
Yeah.
He's trying to rebuild his relationships. And I love that he told Danny, so here's the key to my bike. Your mom can take you out. Just wear your helmet. He's like, you don't wear a helmet. And he's like, oh, this is one of those do as I say, not as I do things.
Right.
Like, And he's very firm that he is not going to be sharing any of this information of what he's doing and where he's going with Danny.
Right.
That's not important.
And Danny picked up, we used to have mom be in charge of the bike all the time. And he was like, now Carly will have the key. You'll have to go to her. Blah, blah, blah.
Yep. But then Danny said that he's not going to. He's going to wait for him to come back.
Yes.
And he called Jason out on saying goodbye like it was forever.
Right.
And he made him promise that it will not be the last time. And Jason promised that it's not going to be the last time. And Danny was like, you never say anything just to say it.
Right.
And they hugged. And then Joss came. Okay, first of all, writers, seriously, please take, hey, there's Uncle Sonny out of the dialogue for Gio forever. Because he is constant. And stop it.
Right. You live in the same town.
Right. It's, I love Gio. I am loving
but that's his opening line every time.
Whole thing. Is Uncle Sonny here? Where's Uncle Sonny?
Right.
Hey, there's Uncle Sonny. Stop. Let us enjoy the boy because right now you're making it annoying.
Yeah.
Anyway, past that, Joss and Gio get to the train station and bus station, and they're able to catch Jason before he goes. And they tell him, yeah, so Carly was just arrested. Why? Because she turned herself in. She did exactly what you told her not to. She did not count to 10. But then Sonny went to see Carly.
Yes.
In the jail and offered to do, because he thought that she was working with Jagger. He thought Anna was working with, who did he think was working with Jagger? And then he realized, he thought that somebody was working with Jagger. And then he realized that.
I think it was Anna because he knew that Jason was working with.
Yes.
So I think he thought that Anna was just part of it too, since she's law enforcement.
Probably. Okay. But like that really has a lot to do with anything. But.
And then Carly just spilled the beans and was like, listen, Jason's not trying to take you down. They told Jason that he had to work for them because they had information on me from whenever you were, out of town playing Mike. So I did what I needed to do. And now here I am cleaning up your mess again, because what other choice do I have? And then he got all mad and like yelled at the police officer and was like, you can't take her away yet or whatever. Because he was transferring her somewhere, right? Or he was putting her back in the cell.
Her back into the cell. And then we see Sonny leave, and Carly is like pleading with the police officer, seriously, you can take me back, but you have to go get Dante. I have to talk to Dante. And Dante shows up, and she's like, I can't tell you everything right now, but
Find your dad.
you need to go find her dad because he is going after Kate's.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. And I think that's because earlier Dante everything really did kind of fit together just in a really weird way because Dante had gone to see Anna about something else. And she told him about how Brennan's file was wiped clean and that she asked him to look into something. And he was like, I don't understand why we're doing this.
Right.
What was it? Hold on. Oh, Dante had come to her office came to the police station to see Sonny and asked if Anna would see him. And she was like, am I charging him with anything? And Dante's like, no. She's like, then nope.
Mm.
They started talking about Brennan. Dante doesn't understand. And Anna explains how every last trace of Brennan has vanished, including physical and digital. Dante asks why the PCPD cares about what happened to Brennan when it is the WSB's.
Yes.
Yeah. And so Anna explains how Kate's has been using Jason and perhaps Brennan also means something different to the FBI.
Right.
So there's a chance that Brennan is actually more like Jason.
There's definitely a chance.
Especially when we saw him making no matter who you leave behind.
Right.
The conversation he was trying to have with Carly, like, don't get into this.
Yeah.
But then we see Sonny putting together his gun while he's on the phone with Brick.
Yep.
Asking for a location on.
And even Brick's like, why? And he's like, just get me the location.
Right. But Jason had called Diane to talk about how to exonerate Carly. And then he's like, just throw me under the bus. Let me do it. And she's like, yeah, so here's the deal is that you said that you would work with the FBI to protect Carly, which means you knew she was guilty.
Right.
Because people don't do that.
Right.
People don't throw away 2 years. So now they are trying to figure out how they can.
Right. He's like,
against.
I can solve all this. Just charge me instead. And she's like, yeah, Carly's not going to let that
But they're going
happen.
to try to figure out how they can bring Kate's down. He said that he knows someone that can help. And we're not talking about Spinelli.
Right.
We're talking about, so I guess we'll find out next week who he knows that can help gather information unless we're thinking that it's Anna.
I don't think Anna would have something on Kate's because if she did, then she would have used that to stop him from looking at Valentin.
True. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know. There was a lot with that. In between all of that, though, Kristina and Michael met at Bobby's to discuss how they need to protect Avery from having the same life experience that they have had. And Michael's like, so here's the deal. Hey, Kristina remembered the mall princess.
Oh, yes.
That was fantastic. Yay, Kristina.
Woohoo! Whenever she did that, because he's like, you and Dad have always had a great relationship. And she's like, do you not remember Mom Princess? And I was like, thank you.
Yay, writers. But Michael admits that you were young 20s, you were stupid. But you've moved on and you guys have established a good relationship now. And so you're the only one that can save our father, basically. But then Kristina brings up, yeah, except for the fact that if they ask me if I saw
anything bad happen, yep,
Dex up, I sure did. Yeah, I feel like there's like a lot of twists and turns somewhere that we're missing out. Well, that are going to be coming. I don't know.
Wait, there's like a missing link somewhere.
Who is it that Jason can go to?
I don't know.
For dirt on Kate's.
Robin? Because they've continued talking.
Yeah, but I don't feel like it. I feel like Robin would probably keep the same.
I do too, but that's the only person.
With Jason and Sonny about.
Yeah.
Listen, we love each other. We're in each other's lives. They don't want to hear about her work. She doesn't want to hear about theirs.
Right. No, I agree with you, but I can't think of anyone else. And they could do that just as a simple phone call.
Yeah.
Because I really can't think of anyone else that has stayed. Like, I know Scott didn't like Jagger. Like, when he first came back to town, they had to have that whole conversation or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't think that he would have dirt on him.
Diane says that they'll need to get reliable information. Jason thinks he can get it because someone owes him. That's why I'm thinking it might just be Anna.
Yeah, I mean, definitely Anna owes him for all the Pikeman crap with Valentin. I just don't know what she would have on him that she wouldn't have already offered up.
Does Jason know that Brennan is missing? Maybe Brennan knows Jason.
Maybe. Because he doesn't know that yet.
Okay.
Maybe
Jason knows Brennan.
I'll take it.
Okay. And then there were just a couple of little... Willow and Wiley set up a scavenger hunt where Drew happens to be passing by and you're the treasure as he's coming out of the water.
Right. And then he loses his watch, so he has to come back and Willow hands it to him and they have that prolonged hand holding. Here's your watch. Oh, geez, just the touch of you makes me get all flustered.
Yeah.
And Michael calls the company workers that are wherever Drew said he was going to give his next.
He's supporting libraries, though, so yay!
Yes, I'm glad that he's supporting libraries, but I feel like there's people that show up to debates no matter what. You don't need to call in favors to have people show up and listen to debates.
But I think that debates, yes. I think it was to just raise awareness. It was a campaign. It was just like a rally or whatever.
Okay, I still feel like there would be people there.
Right. But Drew was concerned that there wouldn't be, and so Michael was just letting him know, hey, listen, we told everyone at the ELQ manufacturing plant, go to this and bring a friend. Whether or not they vote for you, we don't know, but they'll be there.
Yeah, it just felt kind of, I know they're trying to make it, to keep showing like, oh, Drew and Michael are so close, and so this is even worse with this Willow stuff, but it just felt extra not necessary. I don't know how else to put it. It was just not necessary.
And then, but then later we see Michael, after Carly is arrested, we see Michael go to Nina and ask for help. And he even said, he's like, I will not even claim to have had this conversation with you. You will get all the praise and glory. Yeah. Willow, like Willow will only know that you called Congressman McConkey. But then Nina says, if we get caught, you are connected with me committing a crime.
Mm-hmm.
And this could derail Drew's campaign.
Mm-hmm. And Michael says, I don't care. It's about my mom.
Something's going to bad.
Yeah, it's going to be that something else gets Carly off, and then that comes to light.
It was Michael told her that she owes them because Carly would not have done what she had to do if Nina had just brought, because it is a fact, at the time, Nina knew that Sonny was, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm almost positive.
Yes.
Because I don't think that they would, I think they would obviously still be mad about it, but if it had happened before Nina had gotten to Nixon Falls, it was already done. But so.
Yeah, no, it was Nina's fault.
He's like, give me the phone or give me his number. And she's like, are you stupid? You've never called him before.
Right.
Suddenly you're going to call him and suddenly your mom's going to be okay. No, I will call him.
And he was going to call just like
DC,
the regular person number. And she's like, no.
Right. Let me call his office.
Yeah. I'll call his personal line and tell him we're having dinner next week.
But they mentioned Erica Kane. When Nina came to the office, Madison tells her that she canceled her 9 a.m. with Enchantment. Nina freaked out because Erica Kane is notoriously difficult, and she once had her assistant wear burlap sack all year because she had a layover to Beirut, I think. And Madison's like, there are no direct flights. And Nina's like, exactly.
Right.
That's what I'm saying here. I got really excited for a second. But then Nina walks in and that's Michael sitting in the seat. I would love to see Nina and Kane go, because I have never had the pleasure other than what I've watched for our research and everything.
You would love it. Love it, love it, love it.
I'm already regretting the years of my life I did not watch. But you know what? I would not have appreciated it the way that I do now. Because I got into it because of Anna.
Right.
So, and then I think, so Sasha gave Violet ants on a login. That was sweet.
That was so sweet. She was like, I don't eat ants. And she's like, no, just try it.
But then Sasha shares with her that like she used to cook with her grandma. And she's like, oh, did your mom teach you? And she's like, no, I lived with my grandma. And she's like, I don't have a grandma. She's like, I know, honey. She's like, it's, why don't I teach you how to cook? How would you like to help me in the kitchen? And we'll put together, I loved this.
Yes.
Put together a recipe book so you can have it for the rest of your life. And Violet's like, you can be my grandma. And she's like, how about aunt? How about the cool aunt? And then Sasha asked if she was keeping track of everything she does so she can share with her dad. And they started talking about their diary.
Yes.
Violet's like, there's secrets in there. I can't just let him read it. She's like, no, don't do that. But it
was very cute.
Keep track. It was very, very sweet. And Sasha allowed her to be sad about it, but also comforted her by, there are a ton of people in this house that love you.
Yes.
You are not alone. You're going to feel like it sometimes, but you're not. And then Ned went to see Tracy in the stables. Hades had bit her.
Mm-hmm.
I love that she was like, whatever wife, ex-wife, ex-lover drama you have going on. And I just sat there. I was like, oh, now I'm like, how has this not been mentioned before?
Oh my gosh.
I mean, to be fair, he's been living with his wife and ex-lover for quite some time.
Yes.
So, and for those who don't know, Monica and Ned had an affair. We talked all about it with Monica's lovers.
Yes.
So it was a couple years ago,
Mm-hmm.
but Ned gave her an ice pack and started
And something else.
and something else.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Monica whenever they first got together. Oh,
Ned gave his mom
yeah, yes, Mom.
an ice pack. I'm sorry, I did not use a transition there. You are correct.
I'm like, I'm thinking so hard.
I am of all the times to forget my transition.
Sorry.
Ned gave his mom, not Mon, mom, an ice pack for her wrist and said, I know today's Luke's birthday. How are you doing? And then they talked about Luke. And yesterday was 9 years since Luke left. I don't think I realized that he left the week of his birthday because I don't think they celebrated as they saw going on.
I'm sure that they didn't, but it was sweet because she said, oh, like, how did you remember? And at first he was like, oh, Olivia, it was in Olivia's calendar. And then he was like, but actually it was in Lewis's calendar and blah, blah, blah's calendar and my calendar. Like, lots of people cared about Luke.
Yeah. And she admitted that he was the love of her life. And then she finds Sonny outside looking across the street at where Luke's club used to be. And they reminisce about how Sonny and Luke would just drink tequila all day for his birthday. And, you know, they talk about how Luke always tried to make everything a celebration because, you know, his childhood wasn't the best. So Sonny remembered them saying their final goodbyes, which happened on Pier 54. So why were they not having this reminiscing on Pier 54? Where is Pier 54, guys? What did you do with it?
Right.
You went from loving us to I seriously think it's only been on once this year. Dear new writers, there is a set.
Right. Please use it
for Pier 54. But it was nice because Tracy and Sonny agreed on something about Luke and she high-fived him.
She did.
It looked really awkward.
It did.
I loved it. I absolutely loved it, but I wonder if it was a choice that she was like, we have to make this look as awkward as possible.
Yeah.
Tracy
doesn't
high-fiving Sonny.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that was really it. Yep.
Sounds right.
Reality check.
So, did you high-five anyone this week?
I did not.
Why not?
No, I don't think I did. I don't usually high five people.
Yeah.
No, I did not high five people. We're talking about Drew and his library campaign. My mom loves the library, but the one by her is like the smallest library ever. And they're super nice to her and like we'll order books in and whatever because, you know, it's all within the same county or whatever. But I unexpectedly had a day off Wednesday. And so I called her and was like, hey, do you want to go out? Like, what do you need to do? Blah, blah, blah. So one of the things that she wanted to do was go to the library. And she asked me about our library. And I was like, no, we'll go to the bigger one in Monroeville. And she hadn't been there in forever. And so we went and the lady was like so nice to her and helped her find all these books. And they were in large print.
What's her name? Alice?
I don't know. She was like younger, short hair.
Okay.
Not like super young, but like, okay.
Alice is a grandma.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no.
She doesn't look grandma 8, but like,
Yeah.
I don't want to say she doesn't look young, but you would not mistake her for being in her 20s.
Okay. No, this lady was probably a little bit older than us, but not grandma age. Maybe. I don't know. Librarians. Sorry.
Why not? Guess who I know at the library?
Yeah, guess you know a few of them. But like I took my mom works at the Cane, so like I took her to where she needed to be, and I was like, I'll be right back. I'm going to take Madeline to where she needs to be. And so Madeline looked at the teen books, but then I also took her down to the kids section just in case, because like we've talked about before, she's at that weird age of where does she fall?
Mm-hmm.
So by the time we came back up, my mom was checking out the books, and like she had found all these extra books for her and like looked up her card and whatever. It just was like super, super nice. And so we left and my mom was like, this is the best day ever. Thank you. And I was like, okay, now I feel good. Because last week my mom and I had a little falling out.
Aww.
And so I was feeling bad because, you know, she's my mom. But sometimes she does stuff that makes me a little angry. And normally I don't yell at her because I try to remember, like, she's older, we're on limited time, be nice. But sometimes she just does stuff that you can't help it but yell. So
we're all on limited time.
I know.
Still here.
I know. We're all on limited time, but especially because I already lost my dad and my mom just had her 85th birthday. It's like one of those more inevitable things. Hoping that we have another 20 years, but, you know, realistically, probably not. So my mom herself says she actually hopes not, because it's getting a little more difficult to move around and whatever. So
I have a client that's like that right now. She's like, all my friends were on the street. And I mean, they were there for 60 something years.
yeah.
And I guess nobody left the street. So they were really all together. But she's like, all my friends have died.
Yeah.
She goes, I just want to die in this house. And I'm like,
Right.
okay. And like, we're preparing it to sell. And I'm like, but I love you. I don't want you to go.
Right.
So I'm
She
sad for her because it's
right. It's a hard. I mean,
I think she's actually your mom's age.
death at any age is hard to accept, but whenever you kind of are realizing that time is running out is extra hard. She had a friend whose birthday she was actually invited to last week, and she didn't get to go because my cousin was in town, and it was the lady's 90th birthday. And then at church, maybe it was 2 weeks ago, at church last week, they announced that she had passed away. And I was like, okay. Anyway, not to dwell on that. Just be nice to your moms. Be nice to everyone that you can be nice to, but especially your moms, because they're your mom and they've most likely made the best sacrifices for you in most cases. Not all. I won't go there. But anyway, it was just like a good day of taking her where she needed. A nice day that something so simple and stupid as a trip to the library was like so meaningful for her. And then we had Madeline with us. We went out to lunch and just like whatever. We went to Eaton Park, and my mom, because she is older, it's Eaton Park's 75th anniversary this year. And so they had like little pictures.
She was 10 years old when Eaton Park.
Yeah. So she was talking about how she was sick of Eaton Park whenever she was a teenager, because for some reason that's where all the boys like to take you. And
it was the new thing.
My mom was very, very attractive whenever she was younger. And so she was quite popular.
Mom is still super cute, so you know.
She was very cute, but she was beautiful whenever she was a younger person. So she was quite popular with the boys trying to take her out on different nights. So I guess she got sick of the Eaton Park. Right, exactly. She got tired of the Eaton Park because she was there 2 nights in a row with different dates. So it was just cute to hear the story and whatever. So
yeah,
that was my week. I know it's like not really exciting, but that was my week.
No, it's good. This was like a long week. Last Sunday night we did the outdoor sound bath.
Yeah.
And did like a little bit of yoga and the outdoor sound bath. I loved it. It was the first time I've ever actually done a sound bath. Like I've listened to the, like the ASMR and, just like you can listen to the different frequencies, like on Spotify, you can go find sound waves, but like or sound baths, like I've never done it. And it was nice. Monday we went to Idlewild Park because Erica had never been there.
That's crazy.
Many times that she had been, yet we could not find any photos that said otherwise. So we were able to go through Storybook Forest and took all the photos that she would have taken when she was a child, and she made all the faces.
I love it.
And I recreated a photo that I took on the merry-go-round when I was probably like, I don't even know how old, 5, 6? Maybe.
Aww.
I posted it on Facebook. I have to say, I think it's cute, but
I saw like the general post, but I didn't click into it to look at all the pictures.
Erica it was her idea. So Erica told me, she's like, you have to recreate this when we go. I was like, okay, I'll do it. And then we got rained out though. So that was unfortunate.
Oh my gosh, you're so cute. But not Erica. I'm the kid next to you.
I wanted to make sure that people,
Oh,
really was gonna be like, wow, Erica's changed. But
how come you don't have a belly shirt on in the new picture?
Listen, I accidentally wore a blue tank top though. I didn't even remember because look at, like, I'm wearing athletic shorts, but and a blue tank top. And in my 5, 6-year-old picture of me, I'm wearing like the halter top and little blue shorts and everything. Yeah, I was not doing that. That's my sister, Crystal.
I figured it was one of them.
So that was fun. But then we got rained out and they actually did close. And so we got tickets to go back. But now we're struggling to figure out when is that going to happen because we finally scheduled her surgery date and my son goes back to school. And my husband has their big annual fundraiser in the middle of August. It was like literally the only day we could was Monday. So I think we have a day planned that hopefully works out. Because then there's things that like my daughter has going on.
Yeah.
So it's
honestly, it's fuzzy. That sounds
one
sad.
day, and then it didn't work. And I'm like, no, we are going back because we did not get to do.
Yeah.
We seriously did Storybook Forest, Confusion Hill, and the merry-go-round and the Scrambler. Sorry, the four of us went on the Scrambler. Erica did not. She doesn't like that stuff. And it's one of the few spinny-ish rides I can still do. Because even though it looks like it goes fast, it doesn't go as fast as you think it does, in my opinion. And then I had 2 listings this week that both had multiple offers and accepted within 2 days.
Wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
So that was awesome.
Yeah.
I was very excited about that.
Heck
So don't believe everything you hear about it's turning and everything. No, there's still a lot of houses that are going very quick that, you know, it's just, and it has one of the coolest backyards I've ever seen. Like I was so excited about this backyard. It's built on a hill and they not obviously, there wasn't much to do with it. And they basically created like a huge entertainment. It's perfect. When you walk out the back to the right, there's a fenced in yard that has a barbecue pit and then a covered picnic area. And then you walk out and there's a she shed and everything's beautifully decorated too. So like it's very beautifully decorated. And then throughout the yard, there's like bird feeders and bird baths and chimes and lights and everything. Then they have another storage shed, but then they have these little huts all around. They call them huts, but like they'll have 2 or 3 chairs or like a little 4-top table in it. And each one kind of has like a little bit of a different theme. So like there was one that was a gambling theme. There was one that was just the coffee. That was their coffee hut. There was another one that they just like to read their books and have some tea. There's a swing and like they're leaving everything for the buyer.
Oh, that's awesome.
Like all the decorations. And I told him, I said, I'm not saying that is what sold the house. I said, but I really think that it was because if I were coming in and I was told everything's leaving, I'd be like, now I have to buy like 6 new patio furniture sets to be able to make this. And they have like a huge dance floor and everything. They have an outdoor surround sound system. I mean, it was amazing. And I was so excited to sell it. And now it's going to be gone in a month. Like every house has like a different story to it. And I love the ones that are super unique.
Yeah.
But anyway, I don't want to be like, I love everybody. I mean, I really do, because it's always really interesting to see how people make things their own. But this is one of those next level. So yeah.
Nice.
All right. So join us on Thursday as we get back to Bobby.
Have a good week.
And we'll meet you at the pier. Bye. Bye.
If you enjoyed today's show, we invite you to go to pier54podcast.com to subscribe on your favorite platform. Don't forget to leave us a review. And you can also follow us on many social media channels. Just search for Pier 54 Podcast. Also, we are not perfect, so if there's something that we missed or messed up, just let us know by emailing us at pier54podcast@gmail.com.
It's tax season, and at LifeLock, we know you're tired of numbers. But here's a big one you need to hear. Billions. That's the amount of money in refunds the IRS has flagged for possible identity fraud. Now here's another big number. 100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed. One last big number. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit LifeLock.com/podcast for the threats you can't control. Terms apply.